Hello out there! Okay, today's video is going to be a little fun, and it's kind of my version of if you were starting off with your Louis Vuitton SLG collection, which SLG should you buy? And it's basically me trying to give, if I could go back and give myself some advice about what to purchase when I was starting off on this crazy LV SLG obsession. This is kind of what I would tell myself to do instead of what I actually did. And if you want to see the many Louis Vuitton SLGs I have purchased myself over the years, then check out my Louis Vuitton SLG collection video. And alright, let's get into it. So when I first started off looking at Louis Vuitton SLGs, because I started off with Chanel SLGs first, and then I started getting into Louis Vuitton SLGs mostly because of YouTube and all the videos I was watching about what the best SLG was, what people's must-have SLGs were. They kind of were showcasing the same two SLGs, and it was really the 6 key holder and the clay. So I used to call this a key clay, and then I realized clay in French is key, so it's just saying key, so it's either a clay pouch or a key pouch or just the clay. But the 6-ring holder and the clay, and basically all the videos I was saying, like, these are great starter pieces, you know, the price points are pretty good, they're so useful, I'm using them every day. And you know, I bought into it. I was sold, I bought them. I didn't really use this one. I did use this one every day, but I mean, did it add anything to my life? Did it add anything to put my keys in here, close them up with this button, and put them in my purse? I don't think so. I don't think it changed anything about my life. Did it make me, like, happy to have my keys tucked away in this little tiny, you know, container? Maybe, but not enough, I think, to justify having purchased this over other things that the money could have gone to. Granted, it was much cheaper back then, so it was more worth it to do that. But this, I barely used at all. I used it more on a few trips where I was using it as kind of like a bag charm, easy access, kind of wallet thing when I didn't want to bring my, you know, full wallet or actual wallet on travel, so I don't carry everything with me. So these are what I got stuck with, and what I wish I had purchased instead is the recto verso. Now, I can't go back in time and tell myself to purchase this because it didn't exist yet, but if I were starting out again today, this is what I would get. And I have it both in the empreinte leather and I have it in the monogram, and I am this close to deciding to get it in the damier ebene, which just came out with the pink button, the rose ballerine. And as you can see, I'm using this one right now. But why I would purchase this is because I went through this situation, you know, and the 6 key ring holder and a card holder, so a card case, and then that wasn't enough, so I was actually like stuffing coins into the card slot on the top of my card holder. And then I transitioned to the kind of key pouch that Louis Vuitton has, and I don't have it out with me, but it's the one that's similar to this, and it basically has the flap in the front, and it just has the zipper compartment in the back. And so you basically have the recto verso, but without the card slots in the back. So you have a flap in the front, and then you have a zipper in the back, and you have your keyring holder. And I transitioned to that because I needed more organization and more space than in the flat card holder with the key pouch. And I wanted somewhere that my car key could go, because I thought it looked kind of strange to have my big car key fob like sticking out from here. And so I wanted something, you know, easier to carry. I didn't have to carry 2 things. And so I tried to transition to the key pouch, but the lack of organization drove me nuts, because when I was in a hurry at the gas station or at the grocery store, bank, anywhere that I just want to, be able to like get something out real fast, I'm not exactly being careful about how I put them back in, so the order of the cards isn't the same every time. So the next time I'm in a hurry and I go to reach in for something, then I'm like taking out like 10 cards and I'm looking through them like, where's my ID? Where's the card that I'm looking for? And so that drove me nuts. I know it's not a huge thing, and for many people, especially if you carry less cards or if you're much more organized than me on your own, having just one pouch compartment for you might be totally fine, might be something that you enjoy, it just works out. But for me, in my brain, it didn't. I need these card slots, so my ID goes in here, my 3 most used credit cards go here, my additional kind of credit cards and like Costco card and things that I use more often go in here, my medical cards, dental cards go in here, and then cash and coins go in here, and my car key here. So if I'm just popping out from the car, I can just grab this and I have my car key and everything that I need right here, very organized, ready to go. So if I could do away with these guys and have purchased this instead, I would have been so happy. And to give you a price point, so the 6-key pouch, the 6-key holder right now is $325. The Empreinte version is $420. The clay is $325. So yes, they cost the same amount, $325 in the canvas leather. And then this gets a little bit more expensive as you go to the more specialty leathers and the limited collections, about $490, $500. So together, if you were to get these two, it would be at least $650. And guess how much this costs? Well, in the canvas, it costs $620. So this costs less than these two together. This is $765. But if we're going to go with the leather versions of these, this is still cheaper. So whether or not, if you're going to find these things very useful, or if you only need one of these things, and if you're only going to get one of these things, this is the one that I would go for, because it still has the key situation. So I've seen a lot of people very successfully, use it, and I think it's cute, and I wish I could be those people with just the bare essentials in here, and then your keys here, and you're ready to go. But I'm not. I need the full shebang, and so this is the way that I think I would go. And just to compare it a little bit further, so this is $620 for the canvas version, and something like the Victorine wallet is $575, the Zoe wallet is $630. So we're not talking too much of a difference, and I think that you get a little bit more out of it. So you get like the key ring, and you get kind of the more compactness of it externally, because you don't really have to open too much to get to the things that you need on the back here. And the Rosalie is a little bit smaller, and that one's only in the 400s. And that one is just kind of like a little bit step up from this. It's a flap with like 2 compartments, and it has a little zipper compartment on the inside. So it's more like a kind of card holder with a little bit more to it, but it has no key option. So in terms of how I would start off, if I'm contemplating kind of one of these situations, then I recommend the recto verso. And that's what I would tell myself. Now there's one more that I purchased and in the beginning, and this was the very first SLG that I purchased before I was even into luxury goods. And that's just because I had a little bit of money come in at one time, and I went straight to Louis Vuitton and I purchased a mini Pouchette. And at the time, I think it was like $195. It was less than $200 when I purchased this, and it's been with me ever since, and I do not regret buying this. So when I say that I would go back and tell myself to not buy this, I mean today. If I was starting off today, I would not necessarily purchase this again. And what would I purchase instead? I would purchase this instead. So this is the Pouchette Kirigami. And the reason that I would purchase this instead of this today is because if I were looking for, you know, if I'm using this as a catch-all or as an organizer of my bag or life, this comes with 3 pouches. So, I mean, this is obviously already bigger. So you have the larger, bigger pouch. And then you have the inner medium pouch, which is still slightly larger. And then you get this cute tiny little pouch that, you know, is big enough to fit a bunch of cards in. So you get 3 pieces instead of 1 piece. And I know that this one does have the chain and it can become a wristlet, and if you really need it to, it can be a tiny little purse that you can carry. And, you know, if you have the foldable phone like the Samsung Flip, you can fit it in here, so you can technically have, you know, your cards and keys and your phone and like a lippy or something in here. And you can use it as a tiny purse. But I mean, there's so many products out there now that turn these into purses that, you know, you can attach a chain to, so it looks like this. So yes, instead of this today, if I were looking to purchase something like this, what I would do instead is I would get the Kirigami Set. Now, to kind of hammer home my point a little bit further, this costs $745 for the canvas for the 3 pieces. This today costs $745. This is the same price. The 3 pouches versus this is the same price today. So that is what pushes me to kind of recommend this more than this, especially because of the modifiable options for this. And yes, you have to pay for those modifiable options, but you get 3 pieces that you can modify versus this 1 piece. So I mean, this is cute. This is adorable. I'm so happy I have it. I mean, but it's like $500 more than what I previously paid for it and I don't know if that's worth it today. So today, if I were looking at this, I would tell myself to purchase this. And I love this so much. I mean, I have it in the epi leather and it's gorgeous. So I have 2 sets of this. And yes, I do have 3 of these, and the other 2 I did purchase for, you know, $400 to $500. So it was still worth it to me at a higher price point than this one. But $745 versus $745, I think that this at least deserves a second look when you're looking for pouches. And that's kind of where I would start, because I think most people who are looking for SLGs are looking to start kind of somewhere around here. And so I kind of recommend that you take a look and maybe think of starting somewhere around here. And a runner-up suggestion is this, the Cosmetic Pouch in the PM size. This is $570 currently, and so this is cheaper than this and cheaper than this, but more, and cheaper than this, but more expensive than individually these 2. So it's kind of in the middle. And this is really if you're just looking for a catch-all, if you have makeup pouches. But the other thing that you can do, and you know, people have done this, is you see there's one on this side, so you can see all the way through, and there's another one on this side, this kind of attachment here that you can put a small little rod, metal rod, and create a D-ring on either side. And then you can kind of have like a little bag, you know, so you can turn this into something like this, again, for less money. So instead of these, consider these. And maybe this, if I were to be purchasing brand new from scratch today. Although if you buy these, I completely understand. They are adorable. They are addicting. I mean, they're useful no matter what. And they're beautiful. So you can't necessarily go wrong either way, but that's just the advice that I would have given myself if I were to tell myself what to get if I was starting over, and also if I was starting over with today's prices. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, where are you in your life? Because I wouldn't necessarily have known that this is what I was needing back then when I was looking at this. And I didn't carry as much with me, so I might not necessarily have looked at things like this and instead went for something like this. So in my life, it didn't quite make sense for me to have something like this yet. But the other thing to consider is, are you gonna grow? We all grow, we all change. These two allow you to grow and change, whereas something like the mini Pouchette might be a little bit more restricting because of the size and because it's only a single piece. But again, it does have the versatility of already coming with the chain, so you just kind of have to look at it. But bottom line, it's your hard-earned money. No one should ever make you feel bad for how you spend it, and spend it on what brings you joy. So that's the biggest mistake I made with these two, is that they did not bring me joy when using them or when I purchased them. Just the initial excitement of buying them, and that's it. But these genuinely make me so happy as I use them. One, because they function so well for what I need them to, that it's pleasing, but also because I love everything about them. So that's the bottom line, right? This is just advice from someone out there in the world that you've never met before, that you're scrolling through the videos. But bottom line is, you know, you decide how you spend your hard-earned money, and let it be something that brings you joy. Alright guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, share away, and I will see you in the next one.